Today we are talking about 10 of the royal family members who lost millions. Starting off with number 10, it didn't come as a surprise to find out that the once beloved Prince Harry's sudden exit from royal life cost him millions. This life-altering decision that was made by the Duke and Duchess of Sussex left many shocked and them with a substantially smaller amount of money in the bank account. Meghan really got him to drop it all for her. That's some real power. After being cut off financially in 2020, he's admitted to relying on his late mother, Princess Diana's inheritance, even revealing that if it wasn't for the inheritance, they would have not been able to afford their royal exit. Shout out Princess Di. Along with losing millions of money, it might be safe to say that Prince Harry lost much more because of this decision that many supporters of the royals, including the family, did not agree with. He may have inherited additional funds from his great-grandmother who passed away in 2002. The BBC reported at the time that Prince William and Harry were left north of $16 million to divide. Harry would receive a larger portion as he would not gain the financial benefits of being king one day. Okay, so I'm seeing Harry is still getting that bag without the royal responsibilities. Maybe he is onto something. In number 9, we can't speak of Harry without mentioning his wife and former actress Meghan Markle. After their short period of time as working royals, Meghan was not feeling it at all and thought it would be healthier for the couple to opt out of their royal duties and start a life in LA. They really dropped the bag, now they have to support themselves. Meg, I thought you cared about your status. Do they still think it was a good idea? We may never know for sure, but considering all the brand deals they've signed with to stay afloat, to them, this may be the path of least resistance. The couple has been criticized for recently entering into multi-million-dollar deals with the streaming giants Spotify and Netflix. I mean, hey, they gotta make money some way, even if that meant exposing the royal drama to get that bag. During the bombshell interview with Oprah Winfrey, the couple was asked about whether or not they are just money-grabbing royals, to which Harry assured was never the intention. Another lie? Or is this a sincere statement? Let me know what you think in the comments below, because their words are really not matching with their actions. Markle suggested that their charity Archewell was a remedy to the misinformation about them, explaining that the work would prioritize storytelling through a truthful lens. Okay, let's see if Miss Meghan is being honest now. Down to number 8, before getting cut off financially, King Charles was helping Harry and Meghan to make their transition easier. Once that was done in the spring of 2020, only months after the couple had announced their decision to step down, Harry and Meghan made the claim that they were cut off financially. Wow, now that is cold. Being upset that you are no longer reaping the benefits of a royal as someone who voluntarily did not want to be one anymore feels very much like a first world problem. Am I right? Did they really expect to continue earning a royal allowance without taking up the duties? Harry and Meg, I think you should feel lucky you have enough without the royals to spoon feed you millions of dollars, but that's just me. On top of that, the couple has managed to lose millions of supporters because of their controversial Netflix miniseries, which they really believed needed to be a 6-part story. I too wonder what they thought their love story was important enough for us to consider sitting through 6 separate episodes of it. But anyway, Romeo and Juliet would never. In number 7, the once known as a prince, Andrew. After some major controversies, Andrew was stripped of royal titles, military associations, and royal patronages. Oh, and not to mention the millions that he will no longer be continuing with his royal duties. Big shocker. All Prince Andrew's roles have been returned to the Queen with immediate effect and will be redistributed to other members of the royal family. The door is being closed on return to public life. Sucks to suck, Andrew. Although he does seem to be keeping his constitutional role as Chancellor of State, one of 4 royals who can undertake the Queen's official duties should she be unwell. Although he does seem to be keeping his constitutional role as Chancellor of State. The Duke had a 22-year career in the Royal Navy and served as a helicopter pilot during the Falkland Wars. The latest palace announcement means he has lost military titles, including Colonel of the Grenadier Guards. Seems like a lot of these L's cost him more than just millions. Moving on to number 6, after the ill-prepared Caribbean tour Will and Kate took, many were quick to call them out for the outrageous amount of money that was spent for this trip, making it their most expensive trip of the year. Look at these ballers. Just a reminder, a lot of these trips these royals take are funded by the taxpayers, so this news definitely hit a nerve when it was revealed how much was spent. Honestly, I'd be annoyed too if my money was going towards a trip I wasn't even invited to. The figure includes the cost of William and Kate's journey on the RAF Voyager, an Airbus 330 used by the royals and government VIP, and a separate staff planning trip that took place before the tour began. Overall, the royals received £86 million from the sovereign grant. Of that, $4.5 million went to travel, including the Caribbean tour and the November trip King Charles made to Barbados when the country became a republic, which cost £138,000. The cost also included 179 helicopter flights by members of the royal family and 24 additional charter flights. They really know how to spend money when it's not theirs. And number 5, King Charles III is now entitled to riches part of the Crown Estate, the largest of the investment entities linked to the UK monarchy, as well as from a private estate, the Duchy of Lancaster. Eldest son William has inherited the Duchy of Cornwall after succeeding his father as Prince of Wales and next in line to the throne. The Crown Estate and Royal Duchies oversee total assets of about $21 billion, with their values rising about 70% on average over the past decade, which reflects rising land and property prices. Wow, now we're getting into the billions. Seems like he could share it with the rest of us. Come on, King Charles. Profits from the Duchy of Lancaster, which owns 45,000 acres of land across England and Wales, provide income for the UK's sovereign and have helped to fund the activities of other British royals. One of the largest sources of the Windsor's wealth, as well as one of the most difficult to assess, is the family's property holdings. The family owns a large portfolio of real estate, including well-known properties such as the 830,000 square foot Buckingham Palace, Sandringham Country Estate, Balmoral Castle, the Duchy of Cornwall, and Windsor Castle. And the list goes on and on. Must be nice. On to number 4. The thing this family spends money on, a lot of us can only dream of being able to drop millions of dollars to travel, renovate, and do other royal British things. The release of an annual report, the Sovereign Grant, details spending for the year. This also revealed the renovations to Meghan and Prince Harry's new home, Frogmore Cottage, which cost over $3 million. You guys like to spend a lot of money too, huh? When they decided on stepping down, they offered to pay back the expenses from the renovations. Wow, how nice of you guys. Members of the family also have massive amounts of private wealth, the spending of which they do not have to report. But that doesn't stop us from being curious about the other ways they spend their lavish wealth. According to the report, Queen Elizabeth and the royal family received $104 million from British taxpayers. They spent $42 million on renovations to royal palaces and properties. Along with the upgrades to the Sussex's home, a number of other home design projects took up a big chunk of the budget, including Buckingham Palace, Kensington Palace, and Windsor Castle. No wonder they're going broke. Other things the royals spend their wealth on is their large staff and crew who work for the royals. And just in case you didn't know, a lot of people work for the palace. Payroll costs totaled around $29.4 million, and that includes multiple levels of staff, including private secretaries for senior royals and public relations teams. As much as the royals try their hardest to pretend like they're relatable and just like us, they really aren't. Spending this much money on the people who work for you is literally the complete opposite of relatable. On to number 3, traveling like royalty comes with a king-sized price tag. The royal family serves as ambassadors for the UK across the country, Commonwealth, and the world, which is why they're out and about a lot. The 2022 annual report from the Sovereign Grant and Sovereign Grant Reserve revealed that the royal family spent more than $5 million on travel in the past year. Some of those trips were vacations, other official government trips, and a good few seem to be a bit of both. But damn, spend a lot of money. According to the Sovereign Grant, members of the family undertook more than 3,200 engagements during the year, with the Queen doing 140, and the total travel costs were around $5.8 million. Can you imagine spending that much on traveling? Millions of dollars to travel is a crazy thing to think about for us regular folk, but for the royals, it's just another day. Obviously, the overseas tours cost significantly more than day trips in Britain. For example, Prince Charles and Duchess Camilla's trip to the Caribbean and Cuba cost around $530,000. The Fiji and Tonga portion of the Sussex's Down Under tour cost over $100K, and Prince William's trip to visit Jordan, Israel, and Palestine was around $90,000. The most expensive trip so far was taken by King Charles and Camilla in 2017 to Italy, Romania, and Austria. During the 9-day tour, the couple took several very expensive charter flights between Bucharest, Pisa, Naples, Rome, and Vienna, and all that came to a cost of $203,000. Charles and Camilla are the biggest spenders. The couple spent more than any other royal family member on travel in 2018. It was then that they racked up a bill of about $530,000 for their massive tour through the Caribbean. Damn, y'all gotta chill out a little. However, it seems as though they really got their money's worth on that one, as the couple took part in more than 50 engagements on 10 different islands during their stay. It was also the first royal visit to Cuba. Why does it cost this much to travel? Well, the royals have to take into consideration the amount of staff that is coming with them, who have their own separate expenses, the tremendous expense of operating around-the-clock RCMP security detail, and you can't forget the officers driving armored Escalades following the royal family everywhere to ensure some crazy lunatic doesn't try to make a name for himself by taking them out. Number 2 on our top 10, the family increasing their carbon footprint. Since the royals are partially funded by the taxpayer, the Prince of Wales is obligated to publish annual reports covering business costs, carbon emissions, home energy consumption, and travel schedules. To work out the carbon footprints of the royals, let's dive into the impact it has on their travels. With an increase of 93% in carbon emissions is due to more overseas tours. On the flip side, there was a 24% reduction in energy use for heating and lighting, and a 2% reduction in waste generation, which should make environmentalist King Charles happy. Out of everyone in the immediate royal family, King Charles has the biggest carbon footprint. The king really is out here living large. On the flip side, the smallest carbon footprint was made by Queen Liz. When the queen was strictly forbidden from traveling on public transit, she would regularly use her own private train. Yeah, you heard that right. The family has its own private train. The regal interior of the Royal British train is breathtaking enough, but what makes this more impressive is that it's a diesel-electric hybrid. A major and controversial source of wealth for the royal family is the crown jewels. These include a multitude of rare and expensive jewels and crowns. Among the most famous of the jewels is the Koh-i-Noor diamond, a 105-carat diamond which you can consider as a gift to Queen Victoria or stolen by the British in the mid-19th century. We can get into that another day. Anyway, determining the value of a jewel like the Koh-i-Noor is also difficult. By comparison, in 2015, a flawless 100-carat diamond sold at auction for $22 million. However, it is likely that the Koh-i-Noor would sell for a substantial amount more. This is because of the value of the diamond based on its association with the royals and the value that other governments have placed on it. The Indian government is one such entity that has sought the return of the diamond over the years. The royal collection includes over 1 million art objects held in trust by the monarch. The king or queen do not own these artworks. Among the pieces in the collection are countless items of decorative art. Due to the size and enormous historical value of the collection, it's difficult to place a monetary value on it. That's all for today's top 10. Let me know what you think the most outrageous thing you think the royals have spent their millions on is. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time on The Rich Life.